This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Welcome to the Stadium Course, TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. It's a masterful blend of challenge and playability designed by the team of Tom Weisskopf and Jay Morrish. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports.
The changes, Rich, they made in 2014 have just added a luster to this great venue that hosts the PGA Tour event each and every year. And it's a great test for any level of play.
And let's go down to the 6th. As we catch up with today's featured golfer, Frank, what's the key to generating some momentum?
Just hitting good shots. I know it sort of sounds like the old cliche, but plenty of opportunities. A few 10, 15-foot putts start going down. This round will change dramatically.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Officials calling that one around 310 yards. Frank, one of the great moments in tournament history here in Scottsdale, you go back to 1996, the sudden death playoff between Phil Mickelson and Justin Leonard. Mickelson has always been the hero out here because he went to Arizona State.
Yeah, and it still runs through his veins, Rich. There was such an important win for him because to do it in front of people that he considered his home crowd was huge. And then also to do it in a playoff where obviously it's win or lose. So for Mickelson, 1996 and TPC Scottsdale certainly ring home.
That is how it's done right there. What an approach shot. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be.
Presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Simply put, there is nothing like it in the game of golf. It is by far the biggest spectator event in the sport. We're at TPC Scottsdale in Scottsdale, Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. And Frank, what can you tell us about this golf course?
Well, everybody wants to know about 16, the famed par 3 here, surrounded by those skyboxes. Once again, that'll be a topic of the day. But really, this is a regular site for the PGA Tour. So those of you that were familiar with the golf course, it's now changed. 2014, the designers Morris and Weisskopf did a massive renovation.
Well over 100,000 fans every day, better than 500,000 for the week. It's a giant party mixed in with a heck of a tournament.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
This is a 9-footer. Setting himself up for a good weekend, the wily golf instructor makes his birdie. Frank, where's the difficulty here on the 7th hole, the par 3 of more than 200 yards?
Well, Rich, front hole locations are always probably the toughest here because that's the narrowest part of the green. Bunkering really hasn't changed, and the green still does widen up, but the hole tends to play slightly uphill. It was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Frank, just into that first cut.
Yeah, it's sitting up. Really, this isn't too bad a situation.
How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming your way. Set in the Sonoran Desert and surrounded by the majestic McDowell Mountains, we're at the stadium course at TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Loader alongside Frank Nobilo, set to bring you all the action for today's event. Frank, when you think about the TPC Scottsdale, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
The golf course has been radically changed in 2014, but it still hasn't lost its luster. Really, it's just been updated like the game itself for these young, strong players of the modern era.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Record that as a birdie to bring the score to 1 under for the tournament. On to the par 3 7th, 215 yards from that back tee box, Frank.
This hole hasn't really changed. Still has that V-shaped green where it's very narrow in the front. A high-flying shot in here that carries that front edge, and you'll find the further and further you go back there, the more receptive and that green starts to widen.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Frank going for 2 in a row now. Well, after that birdie, has to be feeling as though they're not out of it just yet.
They're not far away from the first page of the leaderboard. A couple more birdies.
This is a good hole, Frank, the par 4 8th.
Yet another dogleg left, Rich, on the front side. And it's a sharper dogleg now because they've put in 2 bunkers down the left side. It used to be a bailout area for the players in the past. You can't do that anymore. And I doubt anybody can fly it over that left one. It's nearly 330 yards to carry that in the air. Those 2 bunkers have forced the players to go out to the right, making that second shot a little bit longer now.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
And with the birdie, moves into the top 10 on the leaderboard.
And moves into some very good company.
Rounding out the front 9 with a par 4 of 453 yards from the back tee. Looks to be straight away here, Frank. Anything to be cautious about on this tee shot?
Well, that bunker, there used to be 2 bunkers down the right side. There is now 1, and it also pinches into the fairway, which almost makes this hole look like a faint dogleg right. But really, the best line is still down the left side, so it still actually suits a draw off the tee. Green is slightly elevated and not very deep too, so judging that second shot, getting the right club is essential here at 9.
This has really been impressive. High level of golf today, putting on a clinic out there. Frank didn't take notice of that name until right now.